take the vertebrae out of your back just to fit inside of someone's ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stand up full and proud, stand up erect. You know what I mean?
So we were sitting in the service and I leaned up toward him and I said, I've just been touched to give $1 million.
Let's be very, very clear. It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress. And if that's the case, then it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress.
Tyler Perry's name just popped up in court headlines again, but Katt Williams and Terrence Howard been throwing hints for years.
Not to mention the world, who has mixed feelings about homosexuality and the morality of it, and whether it's something that should be applauded or whether it's something.
Long before these lawsuits, they were calling out what they say are shady deals, empty promises, and a toxic vibe hiding behind Perry's shiny Hollywood glow.
It's kind of up to me that you could be a famous entertainer and make billions and billions of dollars, but the one thing you can't do is tell.
So what did they really spill? And why is the industry only now waking up? Looks like Tyler's got fresh drama bubbling. And this time it's supposedly with Katt and Terrence, who are getting ready to drop some serious tea about him. So what's got them so fired up? It's tied to a hot convo in the industry. Black men being pushed to wear dresses for roles in entertainment. And Terrence ain't just talking, he's claiming he's been a victim too. He's on a mission, calling out what he sees as Hollywood's plan to break down black men's masculinity, pointing fingers right at Tyler Perry for pushing that trend.
The people that want that, our entire world economy is based off of the politicians and the authority.
Word is, Terrence is done with Hollywood forcing roles that mess with what he sees as real manhood. And he's not keeping quiet either. He's claiming that Hollywood stamped him as difficult to work with. Tyler Perry's name just popped up in court headlines again, but Katt Williams and Terrence Howard been throwing hints for years. Long before these lawsuits, they were calling out what they say are shady deals, empty promises, and a toxic vibe hiding behind Perry's shiny Hollywood glow. So what did they really spill? And why is the industry only now waking up? Looks like Tyler's got fresh drama bubbling. And this time it's supposedly with Katt and Terrence, who are getting ready to drop some serious tea about him. So what's got them so fired up? It's tied to a hot convo in the industry. Black men being pushed to wear dresses for roles in entertainment. And Terrence ain't just talking, he's claiming he's been a victim too. He's on a mission, calling out what he sees as Hollywood's plan to break down black men's masculinity, pointing fingers right at Tyler Perry for pushing that trend. Word is, Terrence is done with Hollywood forcing roles that mess with what he sees as real manhood. And he's not keeping quiet either. He's claiming that Hollywood stamped him as difficult to work with just because he refused to wear a dress for a role. But it's not just about him. Terrence is calling out what he says is a bigger issue in Hollywood, standing in line with what big names like Dave Chappelle and Katt Williams have been saying. Some might want to brush it off as another Hollywood rumor, but Terrence says he's standing on it.
But what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand.
Word on the street is Hollywood slapped that difficult to work with label on Terrence Howard just because he turned down a role that had him wearing a dress. He's clearly fed up to the point where he's even thinking about quitting acting for good because he feels like the industry is blackballing him for standing against what he calls an agenda he just can't vibe with. If you've been keeping up, you've seen Katt Williams bringing this Hollywood dress convo back to the front, claiming there's a push to get black actors in dresses for mainstream shine. Now, the buzz is that Terrence might be one of those actors who got iced out for saying no to the dress.
If they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'd be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress.
Terrence has definitely made waves, and not just for his acting skills, but for the wild headlines around his personal life too. But don't get it twisted, the man's got serious talent. During an appearance on Bill Maher's Club Random podcast, Terrence dropped that he once turned down the chance to play Smokey Robinson in a biopic. He called it one of his biggest regrets, but explained that he was already in talks with Lee Daniels about playing Marvin Gaye in another biopic at the time. Funny thing is, he ended up turning that Marvin Gaye role down too once he found out more about the project. He wasn't feeling it after hearing rumors about what the script would require. Terrence even made a heavy comment saying he'd rather cut his lips off than kiss a man on screen. while talking to Maher. Terrence also shared a convo he had with Quincy Jones back when they were first talking about the Marvin Gaye movie.
I'm not dropping names. I'm just giving credibility to what I'm saying.
No,
about what I'm
never
saying.
drop.
That Marvin was gay. And I'm like, was he gay? And Quincy's like, yes.
Oh.
He went around.
Howard revealed the filmmakers wanted to dig into the rumors around Marvin Gaye's sexuality, and he wasn't cool with that. He said straight up he couldn't play a role he didn't understand, and Maher agreed with him. Howard added it just didn't sit right with him to take on something he couldn't connect with in real life. Now, Marvin Gaye's sexuality was never confirmed. He was married twice, first to Anna Gordy for 10 years, then to Janice Hunter for 5. But in a 2018 Vulture interview, Quincy Jones claimed Marvin Gaye had a romantic thing with Marlon Brando, along with other big names like Richard Pryor at the time. Quincy said he was the most charming MF you ever met, and told Vulture that Brando would flex anything, adding, James Baldwin, Richard Pryor, Marvin Gaye. The streets were buzzing after that interview. Of course, Terrence Howard's comments sparked a wave of reactions on social media. A lot of folks found his views offensive and called them out as problematic. Some even said platforms should stop giving him a mic because of the wild stuff he's been saying over the years. That includes him claiming 1 × 1 = 2, trying to shut down the Pythagorean theorem, saying he can kill gravity, not believing in the number 0, and even claiming he remembers the day he was born. Every time he talks, social media lights up. After these latest comments, plenty of people online weren't rocking with Terrence. One user even reposted pics of Howard on the red carpet getting kissed on the cheek by Cuba Gooding Jr. and Paul Giamatti, trying to call out what they saw as a double standard. But here's the thing. Terrence has been vocal about how he feels he was forced to do things in the industry that shouldn't be done, and he's not backing down now. Once Terrence spoke up about his issues, he says he got blackballed, and you can see how messy this industry can get if you look at what's going down with Tyler Perry right now. Actor Derek Dixon is suing Tyler Perry for a jaw-dropping $260 million, claiming he was sexually harassed and assaulted and then faced retaliation.
Filed lawsuit accuses Tyler Perry of an actor on one of the filmmaker's shows. Actor Derek Dixon has sued Perry for $260 million.
The lawsuit was filed on Friday, June 13th in Los Angeles. According to court docs pulled by People, Dixon claims Tyler Perry created a controlling and inappropriate relationship while he was working on Perry's shows The Oval and Ruthless, where Dixon played a character named Dale. At first, Perry was offering him career opportunities, promising to produce his pilot and giving him acting roles. But according to Dixon, things flipped when he didn't return Perry's romantic interest. He's saying Perry started harassing him and eventually damaged his career after he turned him down.
Tyler Perry has been hit with a huge lawsuit from an actor by the name of Derek.
Tyler Perry's lawyer, Matthew Boyd, told People the lawsuit is nothing but a setup. He said, this is someone who got close to Tyler Perry just to run a scam. Boyd added that Tyler won't be bullied, and they believe these claims won't hold up in court. Dixon claims Perry kept texting him in a flirtatious way while also dangling career help and promising to change his life. In November 2019, Dixon says Perry gave him a small role on Ruthless, but by January 2020, he claims Perry assaulted him at his home. Just a month later, Perry allegedly offered him a regular role on The Oval. Dixon says when he first read the script, he noticed the ending for his character was left unclear, and according to the lawsuit, Perry warned him that if he didn't respond to Perry's flirtation or didn't play along, his character would get written off. By the end of his first season, Dixon's character Dale got shot 4 times in the chest. Dixon claims this was Perry's way of flexing control, allegedly hinting that Dale's survival on the show depended on keeping Perry happy. After filming that scene, Dixon says Perry invited him into his trailer where he allegedly pinned him against the wall and aggressively groped him in a sexual way. Dixon also claims a similar incident went down in October 2020 during a cast trip to the Bahamas, saying Perry allegedly groped him again. By December 2020, Dixon says he had to see a doctor because he was dealing with serious stress, insomnia, stomach issues, and abnormally low cortisol levels that his doctor believed were caused by ongoing stress. He was put on Zoloft, a med used to treat anxiety and depression. Then in June 2021, Perry allegedly invited Dixon to his home again, saying he wanted to talk about producing Dixon's pilot Losing It, which Perry had shown interest in before. But Dixon claims that during that visit, he was assaulted once more.
Dixon says Perry assaulted him at Perry's Atlanta home in January of 2020.
Over the next 5 months, Dixon says he struggled heavy with depression, anxiety, constant nausea, and stomach pain. He was eventually diagnosed with PTSD during this time. And here's the wild part. Dixon claims that people close to Perry, who he calls fixers in the complaint, tried to smooth things over by offering him a raise to stay on the Oval to keep him quiet. They allegedly also promised Dixon that Perry would buy the rights to produce his show, Losing It. But in January 2023, Dixon says he told Perry he was moving to California to put some distance between them. He kept working on the Oval for a while, but eventually left during the final season, claiming he lost nearly $400,000 in potential earnings because of it. Now Dixon is taking it all to court, suing Perry for multiple serious allegations and demanding a jury trial while seeking $260 million in damages. And here's the thing. Folks online are saying this isn't the first time drama like this has surrounded Tyler Perry. Remember back in 2023 when Christian Keys came forward making claims about a billionaire in the industry? We all know there aren't many billionaires in Hollywood, and people started connecting dots fast.
$3 grand in my bank account. Who they gonna believe? Right? I got that $3 grand.
Even though Christian Keys didn't name his alleged abuser, a bunch of internet sleuths speculated he was talking about Tyler Perry during a December 2023 Instagram Live. Christian Keys, who's an actor and writer with his novel Ladies' Night turned into BET Plus's All the Queen's Men, spoke up about the alleged abuse he faced. He specifically mentioned a powerful Hollywood man who he accused of sexually harassing him. And while Christian didn't drop a name, social media was buzzing heavy with people assuming he was talking about Perry.
I was on a show.
Tyler Perry had Christian Keys in his stage plays Medea Goes to Jail and What's Done in the Dark, and he also produced All the Queen's Men. In his video, Keys said his alleged abuser had several black folks on payroll. He shared that while crashing in the guest room of this powerful man who told him it was safe, he was 5 full Hennessy's down, and not the small ones either, when this dude allegedly tried to climb in bed with him. Keys says he spazzed out and pushed the man off him during the alleged assault. Now social media is buzzing, connecting the dots between Keys and Derek Dixon's stories against Perry. Folks are pointing out that both men kept working with the alleged abuser, never called the police, and didn't file police reports. One ex-user posted, "Remember Christian Keys made this video about Tyler Perry allegedly last year? I remember a blind item saying he was paid off, but more people will come forward about TP. I guess where there's smoke, there's fire." Another user wrote, "The same story Derek Dixon is sharing about his alleged assault from Tyler Perry is the same story Christian Keys shared about a black Hollywood giant. He was bullied into deleting his videos from IG. Believe survivors the first time." And it's not just these two stories making people talk. Whispers have circled for years about Tyler Perry allegedly being involved with a man named Joshua Soule, who used to work for him back in 2014. Things got real when Perry filed a restraining order against Soule after a wild incident at his Atlanta studio in October 2013. The details were kept on the low back then, but the rumors never died. According to Perry, Soule didn't just show up uninvited, he allegedly broke in. Perry claimed that Soule snuck into his studio by disabling alarms, crawling through ceiling panels, and locking himself inside an office. The whole building had to be cleared out, and police spent 4 hours trying to get him out before he was finally arrested and hit with criminal trespassing charges. Perry then sued Soule, asking for a restraining order. $100,000 for harassment, $25,000 in legal fees, and even requested court-ordered counseling for Soule. But here's where things get even messier. Rumors started flying that Perry and Soule might have had a romantic relationship, and when Perry allegedly tried to end it, Soule wasn't ready to let go. Soule's legal team denied all of it, saying he didn't stalk Perry or break in, claiming he was being falsely accused. Then out of nowhere, On May 13th, Soul clapped back with a $10 million lawsuit against Perry, Tyler Perry Studios, and a supervisor named Brett Hendricks. In the suit, Soul said that while working as a production assistant in 2014, his supervisor called him baby, made suggestive comments, offered sexual favors, and even texted, "I miss you." When Soul reported it to Perry, he says nothing was done and the behavior continued. Soul also claimed Perry damaged his reputation by calling him mentally disturbed on Facebook. In the lawsuit, Soul accused Perry of creating a hostile work environment, retaliation, emotional damage, and battery while demanding $10 million. Now here's the wild twist. Way before all this, the animated show The Boondocks aired an episode many believed was throwing shots at Perry and hinting at this exact type of behavior. The episode caused a stir, and people claim Perry tried to get staff fired and threatened to sue the show. Perry denied that, but the episode still got pulled and the gossip only got louder. With all these lawsuits, rumors, and quiet removals, some folks believe Perry's been working overtime trying to cover things up, whether it's by suing people, paying hush money, or just staying silent. Now that more details are spilling out, people are starting to connect dots that got ignored for years, just like with the Spike Lee situation. Remember when Spike called out Perry's work and Perry brushed it off saying, "No response is the best response"? Yeah, he thought staying quiet would keep the heat away. But with all these accusations and receipts coming out from celebs and industry workers, a lot of folks and fans are convinced Tyler Perry is gay based on his behavior and how he's been portrayed for years in the industry. Word on the street is there's actual video footage from one of Diddy's wild parties that could drag Tyler Perry straight into the middle of this growing scandal. Tyler's been staying calm, maybe hoping it would all blow over. But now Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal is out here hinting that some heavy dirt is about to drop, and it's looking like Perry might not be able to dodge this one so easily.
But all this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bro. Cause you know who else they was doing investigation on?
You really gotta wonder, what else is on those tapes? Could Tyler, who some folks claim is a handler, be about to get thrown under the bus while Diddy tries to save himself? If Hollywood is starting to turn its back on Tyler Perry, it's honestly not a shock. His name keeps popping up in some seriously questionable convos. Let's be real, Hollywood's shiny mask has been cracking for a minute now, and with these allegations hitting the light, some actresses and insiders are finally starting to speak up, asking the real questions. Why keep working with someone tied to something this messy? Especially when the rumors are saying he wasn't just sitting on the sidelines, he might have actually played a part in all of it. Not a good look, Tyler, not at all. Tyler Perry has no doubt made a heavy mark on the entertainment game, rising from the Atlanta theater scene to box office domination with his Medea series. But let's keep it real. His journey hasn't been free of drama. Rumors have swirled for years that Perry's ego might have sparked conflicts, even with heavy hitters like Oprah in that cutthroat Hollywood world. Climbing to the top in this industry often means dealing with shady tactics, and it looks like Tyler Perry knows that reality all too well.
You know, and when I'm hearing all this noise, man, it was crazy because there were no black people on television. Before diversity became a thing, Tyler Perry was the only one out there for a long time.
Spike Lee, a legendary filmmaker known for never holding back on social issues, has openly criticized Perry for pushing stereotypical characters in his work.
I still think there a lot of stuff that's on today is coonery and buffoonery. And I know it's making a lot of money.
Spike called him out directly, saying it was harmful and didn't care who got mad about it. And you already know Katt Williams doesn't hold his tongue for anybody. When it comes to Hollywood's elite, Katt is like a one-man truth serum, and he's dropped bomb after bomb about Tyler Perry. Katt's claimed that Perry's empire didn't just come from talent and hustle alone, it came with a price. From sketchy backroom deals to how Perry allegedly treats black men behind the scenes, Katt's rants were brushed off for years as crazy talk. But now, with all these lawsuits, NDAs, and the sudden silence from folks who used to be close to Tyler, people are starting to look at Katt's words differently. Maybe Katt wasn't crazy at all. Maybe he was just early.
It's kind of up to me that you could be a famous entertainer and make billions and billions of dollars. But the one thing you can't do is tell the truth.
And then there's Terrence Howard, who's had his own battles with Hollywood and refused to play the game. Terrence recently doubled down on what he's been saying for years about the flip on masculinity in the industry. He made it clear he's not judging how folks live, but he is calling out how certain powerful men allegedly pressure or manipulate others into compromising situations, all in the name of success, favors, or control. And when Terrence spoke up, he wasn't shy about it either, dropping Diddy's name directly and hinting at producers and filmmakers with big pull over Black Hollywood. Sound familiar?
Oh yeah, I mean, Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking.
This ain't about tearing down Tyler Perry. This is about finally questioning the system he's helped keep in place and asking what it really costs to make it in Black Hollywood. One thing's for sure, Katt and Terrence weren't just out here venting, they were warning us. And now, everything's starting to come to light. If you found this deep dive eye-opening, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to see it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think these Hollywood secrets are finally catching up to Tyler? Let's talk about it below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.